afternoon, everybody. This afternoon we are going to delve deep in a economic subject. Subject is very important, very significant, prevalent everywhere in the world. Title of the subject is Corporate Kleptocracy. Corporate is being pillaged, plundered, and pilfered by its own management team. As we have in vernacular language, Jeposutu te marutu. These companies are actually nourished and nurtured by the same management who is actually pillaging the company with both hands. That is known as corporate kleptocracy. They do this kleptocracy, or they do this plundering and pillaging so hush-hushly, clandestinely, that hardly anyone knows what is going on in the corporation, but they bleed the corporation. They just drive the corporation to the bone, and eventually corporation collapses, goes for the Chapter 11, close down the doors, declares the bankruptcy, or goes for the government rescue package. I have actually promulgated 4 points to elaborate what is corporate kleptocracy. Point number 1 is profit is gobbled up by vertical and horizontal management. Whatever the profit the company makes is gobbled up by no other than the management team of the corporation. Nobody actually loots the company, nobody plunders the company or pillages the company, but insiders, by inside trading, corruption, kickbacks, grabs, all kinds of things, all kinds of nasty and absolutely nutty things they indulge into, and the purpose behind that is to loot the company, to drain the company to the bone. Point number 2 is shenanigans galore. This kind of management team plays all kinds of shenanigans, all kinds of irregularities, all kinds of shibboleths, all kinds of gimmicks and all kinds of hanky-panky. Purpose behind that is only to enrich themselves and impoverish the company. They actually drain the company, become rich. They don't think about the company, what happens to the company is their least concern. But the most concern is what happens to them, how much money they can make, what is their worth, how much money they can actually milk out of the company, legal way, illegal way, ethical way, unethical way, with theism or atheism. They really don't give a hoot about it, but they load the company with both hands to the point that company actually drains to the bone, bleeds to the bone, and eventually the doors of the company most probably are closed. Point number 3 is overheads are relentless. They run so big expenses, so big overheads that no company in the world can afford it. Because of those overheads, companies' profit actually tumbles, company plummets, and overheads actually are not going anywhere, not lining up in the pocket of any stranger or outsiders, but most of the overheads are actually caused for their personal expenses. Point number 4 is corporation is destined for Chapter 11. Eventually what happens to this kind of company you can understand. Company is looted by dozens of managers of vertical kind or horizontal kind. They don't have any kind of sympathy or concern for the company, but the sympathy and concern for themselves. Company eventually declares bankruptcy and goes for the Chapter 11, going to the government, getting some kind of safeguarding bulwark from the government so the company can stay open. But companies' losses are staggering, Company has actually lots of profits, not because of the market, not because of the weaker economy, or not because of the inflation, deflation, stagflation. Nothing. Only the reason is the company has its own looters inside. It's an inside plundering, inside pleasuring. People who are working inside on the high-profile places, high-profile people, they are all crook, they are all rogue and rowdy, they are pillagers and plunderers. And because of that, they actually plunder the company to the point the company does not have anything left. Company finally declares bankruptcy and files for Chapter 11. All these things, all this carnage and all this connivance occurs because of the corporate kleptocracy perpetrated by the people inside the company who are known as high-profile people, the managers, the presidents and all that. When I was in America, there was a guy named Rajat Gupta. He was sitting on the top of the company's city group. So many banks were there. The company has billions of dollars in turnover and billions of dollars for the asset. Rajat Gupta, hailing from India, he became avaricious, greedy, bastard, looter, pillager, and a plunderer. He was making lots of money. He was worth millions. Legally, millions of dollars he had accumulated. But look, in his silver days, rainy days, in the retirement time was coming, and he decided to loot, pillage, and plunder Citigroup. And he started inside trading. Made for $500 million, but eventually caught, went to jail for 25 short years. Bastard should be given, 250 years in the jail. American trusted this bastard. American people, American shareholders, American investors, American stakeholders, American government, American banking system. They all trusted this nasty goon. And what he did? He violated the trust of everyone, looted the company through inside trading, made about $400 to $500 million. God knows how much more. He must have hidden some money somewhere in the foreign bank, most probably in India, somewhere, because he was from India. So look, that is what I say. We can get out of India, but India never gets out of us. We can get out of India, but India never gets out of us. The bastard was cheater over here, looter over here, pillager over here, corrupt over here, connivant over here. When you went over there in a country like America, the richest country on the planet, can make you the richest in your community. Why the hell you have to loot the company van? Your cow, you have a cow that gives you 20 liters of milk every day. Why you have to cut down the udder of the cow? And you know that cutting up the udders of the cow is not going to give you all the milk that cow has. So this kind of corporate kleptocracy is very ubiquitous. Very, very ubiquitous. There is hardly any nation from Canada to Australia where corporate kleptocracy does not exist. Thank you very much for listening. That's all the time we have. We'll see you again next time. Until then, God bless everyone on this planet. Amen.